PROCHAL, Project Challenges and Risk Management, and PROSAFE, Health Safety and Environment Management System. PROCHAL Introduction. PROCHAL is a project challenges risk management system for identifying, analyzing, evaluating, and preventing the mitigating the risks that have the potential to impact the schedule of project and to help the project manager to keep the project on track and meet the objective. Let's see key tasks of the system. So risk documentation. In risk documentation, we are keeping the record of various risk documents like a risk ID. We are assigning some risk IDs and we are categorizing the risks. Then risk assessment. In the risk assessment, we are calculating the risk score, risk severity using the probability and occurrence with the impact consideration. And risk mitigation. In risk mitigation, we are developing the risk mitigation and implementation plan to reduce the impact of that risk on the project schedule. And risk monitoring and reporting. In risk monitoring and reporting, risk score monitoring with the risk matrix, we are preparing various risk matrix for open and close risks, and we are preparing butterfly comparison, that is for standard and actual risk matrix comparison, risk profile monitoring by severity, and risk reporting on monthly basis. Risk documentation. Risk documentation is differentiated in two parts, that is the risk description and action details. In the risk description, we are keeping the records of various risks by their risk identification number with the risk identification date and risk description. So we are creating various risks by their risk identification number, risk identification date, and description. And in action detail, we are creating action plan to complete the risks or to reduce impact of that risk on the project. And then we are assigning that risk action to various group and department, and we are targeting completion of this risks. So, and we are differentiating the statuses, that is open risks or closed risks, and that will be plotted in a risk matrix. Risk assessment. Risk assessment are divided in four assessment types, that is a probability, assessment by probability, then assessment by impacts, assessment by resolution urgency, and assessment by controllability. So probability is subdivided in five types. So here are 5 values will be available to selection: very high, high, medium, low, and very low. Each value have different weightages, that is 0.95 for very high, 0.80 for high, 0.55 medium, and 0.30 for low, and 0.10 for very low. So we can select any of those. So currently we have selected here high, just for example. And for impact, there are 4 parameters are available to selection: project cost, other cost, project schedule, and operational quality. Each value have different weightages for a selection of options S and no. S will be have some values that can be a project cost 0.20, 0.30 for other costs, 0.40 for project schedule, and 0.10 for operational quality. We can select appropriate option according to requirement or according to condition of that risk, and the other weightages will be calculated for impact. Next is resolution urgency. Urgency can be a long term or short term. So here are some weightages available for long term: 0.50 for long term and 1 for short term. And in controllability, there are 2 options will be available: direct and indirect. Direct value have a 0.40 weightage and indirect value have a 1. So based on the values, we are calculating risk score. Multiplication of other 4 parameters, that is 0.80 means probability, 0.90 means impact, 1 means resolution and urgency and controllability. For controllability, the value will be 1. So by multiplying this 4 parameter, we are calculating risk score, that is 0.72. Risk mitigation. To reduce the impact of risk impact on a project, we are preparing the mitigation plan. So while preparation of mitigation plan, we are considering 4 mitigation plan types, that is avoid, transfer, accept, or reduce. Next is action for mitigation. Action for mitigation has various details, that is action details, action taken date, and action is means who will take action, which department or which person. And then we are conducting reassessment on that risk. So while reassessment, we will work on that previous 4 factors, then we'll work on the mitigation risk probability, then we will work on the impact. So the difference between previous risk score and current risk score will be calculated for a reassessment process. That is for risk mitigation. And for risk monitoring, we are preparing risk matrix. So here we are viewing standard risk matrix. In standard risk matrix, we are viewing in impact value at x-axis, that is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and 1. So here this scale is available for impact, and y-axis we are viewing the scale of probability, that is 0.2, 4, 6, 8, and 1. In risk standard matrix, we have differentiated the various values based on their legends, that is a minor, moderate, and major. Minor values will be highlighted with the green color, moderate values will be highlighted with the yellow color, and major values will be highlighted with the orange color. Let's see some examples of risk matrix plotting. So here are some values available. Actual risk entries are available. There are total 8 entries available. Out of those 8 entries, 5 risks are open and 3 risks are closed. And their probability and impact is also available. Score is calculated based on multiplication of probability and impact. Let's see butterfly comparison of risk matrix. So butterfly comparison of risk matrix will be available like this. At the bottom, chart 1, standard versus actual risk matrix is plotted. Standard matrix is same as above standard matrix, and actual matrix will be plotted based on actual entries, actual values available in the system. Suppose risk ID 1 is open and their probability is 0.6 and impact is 0.5. So we'll map this risk in a risk matrix like this. The probability is 0.6 and impact is 0.5, between 0.4 and 0.5. So R1 is plotted here. This is for open rigs, and closed rigs, P25 rigs has an impact probability is 0.6 and impact 0.5. So it will be plotted same as R1. Like this, we are plotting risk matrix in actual manner. In risk monitoring, we are differentiated the risk matrix in 2 types, that is open and closed. So open risks are plotted like this. Same logic is available here as per overall, and closed risks are plotted like this. Let's see actual demonstration of risk management, that is PROCHAL. So we are logging with the PGold. We are providing the user credentials and directly land to app selection menu. Here we will select PROCHAL for risk management. I will directly enter to risk management, risk register. Here we can see there are some various columns are available with the risk ID, risk open date, key risk description, risk owner, probability, project, cost, other cost, schedule. Means Reassessment and assessment will be started from probability, cost, other schedule, output quantity, urgency, etc. We'll see some examples how to add risks and how to create a mitigation plan against that risk. So impact, current score, previous score, and current versus previous score difference will be calculated. Action plan can be entered here, and action by is also editable. We'll do one entry against that risk. So these are the existing added entries, and we are adding one more risk, that is RIT 14. We are providing risk open date when the risk is started. Then we are providing key description of these risks. We are providing owner of this risks, and we have started the assessment of that risk management. So here are some values are available which we have seen in presentation: very high, high, medium, and low. So we are selecting here high. We are selecting a project cost. So if this risk is affecting on a project cost, we can select the appropriate action. If this is affected on a project other cost, we can select appropriate options. If it is affecting on a schedule, we can select yes. Then we can select urgency and output quantity. If it is affecting on output quantity, urgency of that risk, long term or short term, controllability of that risk, direct or indirect. So at the controllability, assessment will be completed, and the impact, current risk score, previous risk score, and difference will be calculated automatically. So here it is, current risk score is calculated 0.80, and at last column, risk severity is also calculated as a first preference, and target completion date is also selected. By this way, we can complete the assessment of risks in risk register. At risk matrix, we can see this is the actual matrix, actual standard matrix of risks, where we can edit various values available in risks. We can reset the values also, and we can save the existing values. At the bottom, we can see the risk severity, critical, major, cautionary, and minor. Their color coding is also available. For critical, orange color is allocated. For major, light orange is color allocated. For cautionary, yellow color is allocated. And for minor, green color is allocated. Based on a risk score, impact, and probability, we are plotting the actual matrix. This is a butterfly comparison of actual matrix versus standard matrix. At the right side, we are viewing actual matrix, and at left side, we are viewing standard matrix. The risk which we have added is currently viewing RID 14 with a risk score 0.18. And at bottom, we can see the actual matrix that is open for open rigs and for closed rigs. And here we can see the RID 14. There are some options available for selection. Currently, we are viewing oral, and we can switch to open rigs. So here we can see the list of open rigs. Open rigs are currently filtered out, and we can choose closed rigs to viewing closed rigs. This actual matrix is also plotting in the reports also. It will be available in PDF format. Risk profile. In risk profile, we can see the month-wise distribution of various categories of risks, that is a critical, major, cautionary, and minor. Total number of risks are also available. Sum of their risk score is also available. Percentage number and percentage with respect to risk score is also available. At bottom row, total risk score and average risk score is calculated. These statistical calculations are available in month-wise structure. For inputs, we have given in risk register. Risk mitigation plan. In the risk mitigation plan, we can see this is previously added risk mitigation plan are available. We can add a new mitigation plan for any other risks. So here we are adding some risk mitigation plan for RID 14 risks. Key distribution will be fetched automatically from a risk register. Current risk score also will be fetched from risk register, and we are giving inputs of action plan against that risk. We are providing the date of a mitigation plan, and we can attach any document against that mitigation plan, and we are saving this. After creating a mitigation plan, we will conduct reassessment of the risks. So again, we are going to risk register, and we are going to add action plan here also. And we are going to conduct reassessment against that risk. So here action is done by civil engineer, and reassessment is started from probability. So here the impact of a probability is very low. Now it is not affecting on a project cost. Now it is not affecting on a project other cost. Now it is not affecting on a schedule. So here we have selected the no options, and yes, if it is not affecting on a output quantity. So here we have selected, we have changed some parameters, and current risk score is now moved to 0, and previous risk score is calculated or recorded as a 0.80, and difference is also calculated. Based on the difference, the risk severity is calculated as a 4, that is changed from 1 to 4. And now we are going to close this risk, and yes, this risk is closed now, and it will be reflected in risk matrix close search box. So risk is closed, and it is now available in green section. We are going to open the pop-up, and this RID 14 is closed now. By this way, we can conduct the reassessment against the risks. Risk report, we can create various risk report against the same month. So here we are creating a risk report against April month. Risk report 0.02 is created, and we are providing some theoretical introduction in the risk summary. So here we have provide the input of theoretical inputs, and we are generating the reports. So there are two options are available: preview and download. And now we are going to see the preview of PDF copy. This preview is generated for risk report, and theoretical inputs which we have given is also available. And at bottom, standard versus actual risk matrix are also plotted. This copy is available in PDF format. And let's see the highlights of risk management, that is a PROCHAL. We have seen the how to identify risks, how to categorize that risks, how to analyze the risks, and how to monitor the risks by using risk matrix. There are some risk register is available to enter the various risks. Risk probability and impact we can calculate. We can calculate the risk score and severity by doing a assessment. We can monitorize the risks by viewing the risk matrix and heat map. We can see and print the risk profile in the risk chart. We can prepare a risk mitigation plan and monthly reports. We can analyze that risk. We can create a response. We can assign that risk to various group owners. We can categorize the risks by their priorities, and we can identify the various risks by their monitoring in the risk matrix. That's all for risk management. Let's see the product introduction of PROSAFE, health, safety, and environment management. PROSAFE, project safety, is HSE management system used into the project for monitoring the incident related to health, safety, and environment, and to audit the complaints, to conduct the training events. The system help to health management HSE management, and group for proper assessment of HSE measures undertaken during the various phases of the project execution, especially at the construction site. Let's see key tasks of the systems, which are HSE incident and activities, HSE audit, HSE approval and permits, HSE movement and updates, leadership and training, HSE charts and dashboards. HSE incident and activities is recorded in HSE register, which is divided in two parts: meetings and audits and HSE measures. Meetings or audits contains number of introduction programs are conducted, HSE awareness programs are conducted, HSE toolbox meetings are conducted, and HSE audit which are conducted. Also, HSE meetings are conducted. HSE measures contain first aid cases, near miss accidents, unsafe act practice, LTA, lost time accidents fatal, and lost time accident other, lost time incident fatal, and lost time incident other, vehicular fire explosion accidents, man days lost in accidents, and measures of many other activities. So total 29 activities are available in the risk register, and we can add more activities as per our requirement. HSE activities and measures can be recorded on periodical basis like daily, weekly, and monthly. HSE audit. HSE audit, we can keep the records of various audit schedule, that is mentioning the start date, finish date, non-compliance. If it is non-compliance, then we can select the non-compliance type, health, safety, or environment. The nature of work operations, that can be operations, chemical, handling, and other construction activities, and etc. Non-compliance description, we can put non-compliance description. We can select the categories if it is critical or non-critical. We can provide the action plan against that HSE activity. We can select the responsible department or owner, and we can prepare resolution plan date. Also, we can provide non-compliance resolution date and remark. So by this way, we can prepare the HSE audit to complete the project timelines. In HSE approval, we can keep the record of various permit details with the providing copy number, approval date, approved by, etc. Also, we can keep a record of activities that can be excavation work, offloading, working at height and hydrotexting, etc. We can keep the record of that activity description, the detailed description of that activity, that can be a major activity, construction activities, etc. We can select the appropriate location for which location that HSE activity is going on. That can be a units, fabrication shop, site location, warehouse, and etc. So we can provide the details of involved departments, that can be a civil, structural, mechanical, quality assurance, quality control, and equipment. We can provide the details of deployed manpowers, how many manpowers will be involved and how many machineries will be involved. We can provide the timelines or schedule of that activity, start time of the activity and finish date of the activity. So we can keep the record of various construction activities for their approvals. HSE movement. In HSE movement, we can keep the record of innovative ideas, special events, that can be a emergency planning, COVID-19 precautions, tree plantation programs, effects of smoking on health, etc. We can prepare the event schedule, that can be a start date of that event, finish date of the event, and total duration will be calculated. Also, we can mention the contribution remarks with the significant details, and we can attach the photograph movements. That's it for HSE movements. Also, we are keeping the records of HSE trainings and leadership. By mentioning the name of program, we can provide the title of the program, training description, detailed description of the training. We can provide the schedule of that program, start date and finish date, and total duration will be calculated. Participant details will be also provided with the name of that employee, designation, if the employee is internal or external, means consultant, contractors, employees. Training man hours, date man hours, training day, all the attendees details will be considered. Type of training, it can be health, safety, or environment, and their subtypes also. Training location, training locations also can be recorded, like in-house training, outstation training, HSE office, workshop, agency office trainings, etc. So we can keep the record of various training program and related leadership in health and safety management, that is PROSAFE. We have some dashboards also. Here we have some dashboards. There are total 29 parameters available in HSE register, and out of the 20 parameters, we have selected some parameters here, that can be number of HSE meeting organized at site, number of HSE awareness program conducted at site, number of toolbox meeting conducted. So here the three parameter is selected at a HSE item, and the three graphs are plotted on a single chart. For comparison, we can use this chart. We have selected other three parameters: number of lost time accident, number of lost time accident other, number of lost time injuries, fatalness. Let's see actual software demonstration of health, safety, and environment, that is PROSAFE. To launch a PROSAFE, we are selecting PROSAFE in P-Gold menu. We have directly entered in HSE monthly report. Here we can see total 29 parameters available. There are 3 columns are available: up to previous month, this month, and cumulative. We can do entry in this month only. These are the 29 parameters, and we can add additional parameters also according to our requirement. Before putting the statistical values, we have to select the month, and we can start the putting actual entries. So here we have done some entries for some parameters, and it will be available in HSE chart as a TIR, rolling average TRIR chart. And at bottom, month-wise HSE items is also available. So in month-wise HSE status, we are going to select man-hour work, and these month-wise details available in chart format. So here at x-axis, we can see the month-wise distribution of man-hour work in cumulative manner. We can change the parameter from out of 29 parameters. We can select any kind of parameter. Here we are viewing number of induction program is conducted. Next is HSE Approval. In HSE Approval, we are keeping the records of various construction activities which will be conducted in future. So here we can keep the various details of construction activities, like activity type, major activity, unit, at which unit it is going to be conducted, area, milestones, department, deployment of manpower, deployment of machineries, schedule start at work, schedule finish of date of work, HSE compliance, yes or no, then date, permit copy number, and etc. In HSE audit, we are keeping the record of various HSE audits by the description of owner, designation, region, location, date, non-compliance or not, type of NC, NC description, action plan for resolution, previous submit EDC, resolution plan date, etc. Next is HSE movement. In HSE movement, we can keep the record of various innovative ideas with their timelines and contribution remark. Let's see how to add one HSE movement. Here we are going to input the values of innovative ideas. We are going to select from date, which date it is going to start, and we are going to select finish date also. Next part is HSE training. In HSE training, we can keep the record of various HSE programs are conducted. So here are some additional data is also available, that is a permit to work, advance first aid, and so on. And we can add additional training details. So here we are going to enter some additional training details. Hand tool safety, type of trainings are going to select, training from date, from which date training is started, and finish date also can be select. Training man hours, how many training man hours will be involved, then location, on which location it will be conducted. We can add a participant, the participant name, employee code, grant of employee, designation, category of employees, training man hours, etc. So training man hours will be calculated based on inputs which we have given in team. Let's see HSE team. In HSE team, we can keep the record of various HSE members. So here ID number, HSE team reference by HSE team reference, HSE role, work area limitation, this kind of inputs which are given, and we can keep the record of various HSE team members. Let's see some highlights of HSE, health, safety, and environment management. So we have seen how to keep the record of various HSE movement, various HSE innovation programs, and updates and enhancement, HSE team management, HSE monitoring parameters, that is a TIIR, LTA, LTI, MTC, FAC, etc. HSE charts and dashboards, HSE approvals and permissions, HSE audit, and HSE training. Also, we have seen the TIIR chart that is plotted in HSE dashboard. Then various 29 parameters plotted chart and inputs which we have given in 29 parameters. So month-wise statistical inputs given provision is also we have seen. I thank to all attendees for attending this Parascat product introduction webinar and hope that you all have found the product useful to implement on your project. Please visit to our website www.parascat.com for more detail on the product as well as product offering by Parascat. You may also visit to our website and YouTube channel to know more about the product features. That's it for today. Wish you all good day ahead. Thank you.